Hello everyone, welcome to this video. Today I will cover how to using our Adobe Animate Texture Atlas importer so you can using it correctly. Okay, let's start with open our page on GitHub so you can read all the necessary steps and make sure you follow all this guide so you can import your animation correctly. Okay, let's go to here. You can download it from the GitHub or from Asset Store, but I will recommend you that you need to download it from GitHub because you can make sure that in GitHub is always update, always in latest release. So let's just start. Okay, so let's go to project. After you install, and you can project to and go to the setting and enable our plugin. After you enable that, you can go to project and go to tools and go to Adobe and import Adobe Animate. So here we will need to set up necessary files to import the animation. So the first thing is the sprite map JSON. Let's go browse and find your file. I will using this example here, sprite map JSON, and after that this plugin will be automatically search or find the other files so you can just set up the first. Alright, this is ready, and you can make sure before we import, make sure this is correct. Alright, this is correct, and let's import. Alright, we done. Let's close this and let's go to the folder, and you can go here, imported characters scene, and let's open it, and you can see here animation player. Alright, we done, and let's see how. Let's see jump. Alright, and let's see uppercut. Alright, it's pretty good, right? And in our latest update we have support animation tree. Let's try this, creating animation tree node, and let's assign our animation player, and let's try with an animation blend node tree. Alright, after you create the animation tree, you can create the animation and create all the necessary animation. Wait a second. Okay, you can add some transition, I mean creating the transition, and make sure you set the input and you add all the necessary so you can connect this like this. And let's start with jump, and let's output. Alright, this animation run correctly, and let's trying to punch. Let's put in state 2, state 1. Alright, and in the transition you can set the fade time like probably 1. Let's start to. Alright, and you can see that I think this is too much, like 0.5, 0.5. Trying to change. I think this is pretty good. Like, let's add some animation, and wait, I can't see. Okay, do we have kick? We have here. Let's add some here, add elements, and let's add this. Can we? Alright, this is pretty good, like our animation will be smoothly transition to other animation. And yeah, if you wanted to in-depth tutorial or how to using this, you can go to here in the documentation. You can watch a quiz video. He cover all the necessary steps to using animation tree. Alright, I think that is enough. The next one is I want to cover how to set up in Adobe Animate, because some people probably don't understand how to set up their animation in Adobe Animate, so we will cover it. Alright, let's go to Adobe Animate. Let's go back again. Let's read this here. The first setup, you need to make sure our library folder structure is organized, and you can follow this example. And let's see sign library, and we have here statement and animes. We have all animation here like this, and we put it all into anim folder, and the parts is all the necessary parts that you can that you using it on your animation. All right, let's trying to export it. Let's go back again to the documentation. All right, here in the generating a texture atlas in Adobe Animate section, you can read this for reference or the guide. So we have two workflow. The first workflow is using a single master file, or you can use workflow B individual files. You can using with batch export texture atlas, and you can use some this batch export GSFL tools support I have created, so you can set up more fast. You can read that more depth in this link. This will go to our other repository. All right, let's using this because this is pretty much recommended, but I think if you want to more maintainable parts, I mean animation, you can using the workflow B, because like per animation that will be spirited into individual, so you can easily to manage that. But if you want to more faster, you can using this workflow. So let's see in here, creating a master symbol and next your animation level 1 only. This is mean you cannot like you creating more animation in depth, like like here for example, like here we have level 1 actually. So if you creating more animation in here, you will be cannot using our plugin because it will be error. So how using like adding some expression or face, you can put here, like you can add for example, let's add some classes here, so you can put here on outside, and this will be it's okay to adding more animation in here. But if you want to adding more in-depth level or nested animation, so you cannot, because in the but I'm not sure, but maybe in the future there will be supported, but currently we cannot support this in-depth animation. So you can put all your parts in the inside and the animation symbol, the inside I mean the inside of the animation symbol, so you can put here. All right, let's start with export. So if you using our plugin, Adobe Animate plugin batch export, you can click like here, select all you want to export, and you can go to command, and you can go to batch export texture atlas, and we will see the animation that you want to export, and click OK. And let's try here. I will adding new folder here and select the folder and done. And you can see in Adobe Animate, you can see here in Godot, and you can see there will be spirited files like here. If you're using the plugin in Adobe Animate for batch export, you need to you can put into one folder, like create new folder like anim, and put all your animation, but make sure you rename it, like here, like base, and here, and you can put into one folder, and here you can delete it for the another folder. And let's trying to import. Go to project tools and import, and browse your animation. So here our example for the animation statement, and All right, so here you can see path exists but no animation JSON font. You can press folder, stickman, and anim. Select this folder, and you will get this file fonts. And let's start import. Let's close this. Let's see. All right, this is the base, and this is chairs animation. Okay, it's worked well, right? It's worked great. All right, you can see like this. This is because about texture filtering, how to solve this. If your asset is pretty small, you can go to uh, wait, maybe you can go to project settings and go to the general and to textures. Here you can near close, and you're ready to go. But this is kind of like pixels, because this is small. All right, let's trying the second. Sorry. All right, let's trying the second step. I mean second work. So I mean the first, right? Because we just trying the second workflow. All right, let's try the single master file. How we using that? I mean how we export that by using that workflow. Let's read this first. We need to create a master symbol, and as your animation. Alright, this is I like my explanation before. You can read some important, yeah. All right, let's just go to here, and maybe you we can put all our animation like here. Is this it's like 40 animation. That's pretty a lot. And after this you can just put in on layer like this, and you can just right click and convert it to symbols. And okay, maybe you can rename it to like master or something. Okay, this ready to go, and you can right click and generate texture atlas. And you can see um some texture in here, but this is actually fine. But let's trying to change to graphic. Let's generate texture atlas. All right, we cannot, right? But one, wait a second. Let's try to graphic, and let's trying to export it again. All right, like you see, our animation is still input. If you're using some controller or like Adobe plugin in your Adobe Animate, I think this is fine, because this will not exported. I mean not used on our animation in Adobe Animate. But let's just try. Wait, there's a lot processing. Oh, it's done. Let's see. Huh? No? Wait, am I wrong? Click the button. Let's browse. Oh, we put it on wrong folder. Sorry. Let's click here and stickman, and let's save here, and let's export. Alright, we done. Here we have spread map. Let's trying to import, and let's browse, and here. And because we using one files, I mean one animation, so you need to browse file and go to the animation. All right, let's start import. All right, it's done. Let's see. All right, as you can see here, the like the addition, I mean some parts that not we want to inside our sprite. But this is fine because we just using this, right? So we not see that. Right, actually you can make uh the animation faster. Oh no, wait. wait. I'm pretty sure we can set up this. Here you can set up like two for like more faster animation. Alright, I think that is enough about the demo or example how to use this plugin. If you want to more in-depth, how to using this, you can read this. And oh yeah, I'm forget to mention thank you for Stable Image for providing us their animation. You can trying, you can using this animation, same animation that we covered in this tutorial, like Yellow Man. This is pretty much, a lot of animation. You can see here is pretty a lot. You can download it from this HIO page from Stable Image. Alright, thank you everyone for watching.